Open Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style. Op, 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 op. Open Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style. Op, 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 op. Open Gangnam Style. Hey, sexy lady. Op, 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 op. Open Gangnam Style. Hey, sexy lady. Op, 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 op.
Hey everyone,
Hey guys.
Hey!
so we're here to talk to you today about a few things. First off is
Overnight shifts. Alright, so everybody should know that overnight shifts start at 11:55 on the previous day. So if you're scheduled to work Sunday 12 a.m. to 8 a.m., that means you should be arriving at the desk Saturday night at 11:55 p.m. We just want to get that clear so that everybody knows when they're on the shift and they're on time.
Yep.
So the next thing on the list is not to save over the original Excel sheet. So when you're opening up your cash recs, please do not save over the original Excel spreadsheet because that will mess up the transactions for the next people who have to work after you. So when it asks you if you want to save as, you just say no. So just click no and then everything will reset back to normal when the other person goes to open up their
Broken
cash rec.
keys is the next item on the list.
Right. So we are supposed to be collecting the broken keys. When a student comes to the front desk and they ask for a key replacement if a key is broken, we should be collecting the broken key, putting that in a key envelope and giving it to your maintenance coordinator or putting it in your maintenance coordinator's mailbox and not giving the student back the key. So we should be receiving two keys, the broken key, or if both of them are broken, whatever that looks like, we should basically just be receiving a key back before you actually give the student a new set of keys.
Yeah, just remember to collect it. And speaking of keys, we've already emphasized the importance of signing out keys and making sure that we're keeping track of them on the clipboard and whatnot. And we're actually starting something new where there's a task for the 8 p.m. to 12 a.m. FDA at every single residence. Basically, they're going to go through the clipboard, go through all the keys in their key box and key cabinet and make sure that all the important keys that we deal with are there at the desk and return and sign back in on the clipboard. This is to ensure that by the end of the day we know we're not missing any keys. Once that task is done, every FDA at each residence who's working 8 p.m. to 12 a.m. has to send an email to Olivia stating that you've done this task and all the keys are there. So basically by the next morning, Olivia should have 5 new emails at her desk saying that all the keys are there and whatnot, okay? So that again is for the 8 p.m. to 12 a.m. FDA, and that is starting ASAP.
And just a thing to note with the keys, Elizabeth and Mercedes have brought to our attention that a lot of keys are going out when they shouldn't be. If a student comes to the desk asking for a set of keys for very absurd reasons or things that you feel they don't need keys for, let's say that they're locked out of their room but their roommate is in the room, just ask them to call their roommate to let them back in. Please don't be issuing keys out for reasons that they don't really need keys for, because that means that a lot of keys are going out and it's harder to keep track of them. We've had situations where keys have gone missing and still haven't been found, so please be very careful with keys.
Yep.
And now we're going to talk about emergency storm coverage.
Yeah, so basically if there's any FDAs who live on campus or close to the campus who can come to work on the event of a storm or severely bad weather, please let us know, respond back to this email, or actually even better, let Daniel know, the SAA. So email the SAA account. If you email us, then we'll just forward that on to him, but you should be emailing Dan with that information if you can come to help us out during a storm.
Basically, we'll be calling you first if FDAs can't make it due to really bad weather.
Yep.
And then shifts. Seeing as we're speaking of emergency coverage, we can take your shifts, so please don't call us asking us to cover your shifts.
Yep.
You only have one shift at the desk and that's already assigned. If you ever need coverage for your shift, please call all the other FDAs who are available at that time. You can check it up on When to Work to see who's available. Call them first. If no one's able to take your shift, then call the team leader on call phone, and then we'll figure out something. But again, please don't call us and ask us to take your shifts.
It's the same thing for trades and stuff like that on when to work. We cannot trade our shifts because they're the one assigned shift for us for the week. So just keep that in mind.
What was it?
Oh yeah, and the last thing was phone forwarding. So at UWP, CLV, and MKV, from the 8 p.m. to 12 a.m. shift, you should be setting up phone forwarding to, for MKV, Village 1, and then for CLV and UWP to Rev. So you should be forwarding those calls to those desks so that they don't go unanswered, pretty much. There's an announcement on SharePoint. Dan helped us out with that and posted that on SharePoint that just has some instructions. The MKV phone, however, we're kind of working on it because those instructions weren't working for us before. So we should get that up. But as soon as the phone forwarding is set up for all the desks, that should be happening for the 8 p.m. to 12 a.m. shift. So for UWP and CLV, that's active as of tonight once you've read that once you've watched our vlog and read our message.
And one more thing to note with the phones is in the morning, the 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. FDA, every day at 8 a.m., not 7:55, not 8:05, at 8 o'clock on the dot, you have to call the other desk to see if they're open, just to make sure the FDA is there and the desk is open. So MKV and CLV will be called by the V1 FDA, and UWP, that's the responsibility for the Rev FDA. So please make sure that you're calling the desk at 8 a.m. to make sure that everything's working. And once you've called the desk, please make a note of it in your log to say that I called over to Rev, or I called over to UWP, V1, CLV. They're all open and everything's working or running fine.
Yeah, we will be checking for that because we need to know whether or not the person is at their shift or not. So if you are the person working at V1 or Rev and you forget to call that day, we don't know whether the CLV or MKV or UWP associates actually showed up for their shifts and were there on time. So that's why it's really important for you guys to do that, and we will be checking for it.
And that's it from us. Bye, guys.
See you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
오빠 강남스타일 강남스타일 멀리 선어해 그런 선어해 아름다워 사랑스러워 그래 너 그래 바로 너
We're here.
Let's start that again.
오빠 강남스타일
Take 6.
All right, so the next
오빠 강남스타일
Take 5.
so the next item.
Have it.
No,
Okay.
we're starting from the broken keys part.